Hey, morning.
Morning. Morning.
I think it's everyone.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was reading a note on test tech. This is about that thing, Sebastian, that you were looking into this morning. And I'm just trying to figure, it's kind of feeling like this was one batch. And I'm like, I don't know that was worth a tech escalation, but.
So what you wrote about to me this morning was not in the tech escalation, right? But it really looked like it had to do with the same thing of the mixed due date. They reported last night. And that batch, so it looks like, that's what they reported. So I was working on that fix for showing the due date and...
Yeah. I mean, that was what they
That's
only asked. Yeah, that was the only ask, was to show the due date.
Right.
And so it's, I'm trying to figure out, I mean, I get, I'm fine showing the due date. That's not, whatever. I don't care so much about that, but I'm more like, is this really a problem, or did it just show up on one batch?
Well, it could be a problem, right?
Yeah, it actually might have been. There was a flaw in my logic when I looked to see if they were all batched. Well, that's kind of basically what I was thinking. Okay, they're all done, so we can go ahead and release the next set. Well, I was just checking to see if they were off of hold for production. Hold for production release. Hold for production release. So they go to hold for production release, and then they get released from that. So then they're ready to batch, and then they get batched. And I wasn't checking that part of it. We did add, after talking to Ryan, I added more to that story where that makes it so they can just apply the filters for the hold for production release. Then Ryan's suggestion was that we also make it as part of that story, or as a related story. It's in the same story right now, but that we also make it check somehow when batching that it's all part of the same. Either it was all part of the same set of released items, or that it was all the same due date, but we'd have to probably find out with Tara and Jamie which.
Yeah, we need to have them. I need to understand better what they're trying to accomplish, since it sounds like this all came in last week.
Yeah, it all came in.
So I'll give you the quick cliff notes. We had was it 86,000 Cloud Pro
something like that.
It was a big number.
A ton.
And so as part of the negotiation for the books, they had said, okay, we can take X amount, I think it was 14,000 of them were going to be due on the 14th, and then another 35,000 of them were going to be due on the 21st, and then the final 25 or 28,000 were going to be due on the 28th. And so Tara called us and said, this is going to take me forever to do these 1,000 at a time. Can you guys help? And so Chuck helped, and he got something set up, and his thought was, okay, I'll run all the ones on the 14th, because those are the ones that they're going to run the first, and I don't want to run all of the different batches on the same all together because they're not going to want the batches to be mixed. And so we let that one run and process, and then our thought was, okay, well, they're not going to get past the 14th date in printing today, so we'll run the rest of them the next morning. And Tara called me that night and was like, oh, we have to have all of these. And I was like, why? And she was like, oh, we need to see, I don't know. I think that she was
They
going
would have
out
been
of
way
town.
more mixed. She just wanted them to all be released and have those due dates, and they would have been so much more mixed.
Yeah. And so
Um,
we were trying to avoid that.
Yeah, they
So-
would have been way mixed. So
So Chuck came in at, I don't know, 10:30 or 11 and like started the next batch going. And then they ran through the night, and then I think you got up at 6 and ran the final batch at 6 or something. And so now they're starting to process it, and that's what Chuck was saying, that there may have been a flaw in his logic somewhere, and so there's a few batches that they've discovered that had some mixed dates. So the one that they reported last night, I mean, there's like 130 books on that one. One of them was 810, which I don't even know why 810, because that was never even one of the dates. So I'm wondering if somebody changed
that's-
that one.
yeah, most of them we're seeing are for the 10th. Oh,
Yeah.
I forget. I can look at that real quick.
And then the rest of them were 814 and 821. Like there was maybe like 80 or 90 of them that were 814, and then there was 30 or 40 of them that were 821.
In this chat, there's 2 batches that I included
Yeah.
from the,
And so now, and they just responded and said that they've
Solution.
seen it on 3 batches so far. And so,
Well,
that's
we can
when,
find that out anyway. We can figure out which batches were applied.
Yeah, we can
That's-
run a query and find all of them.
yeah.
Secondly,
So-
what sounds like what we need is we built this process because of their requests to not have batches. The reason that we're doing the tiered releases is because they wanted to reduce the number of batches that are spread across multiple
Mhm.
orders being spread across multiple batches. So that's why we did it this way. So this is not working for what they now want.
Well, I think that but the game changed for them too, right? Like when we
Right.
wrote this, we didn't have these wholesale orders, and now,
Right.
How do we
So
handle
there's
it?
a two
Yeah.
different. This is
Yeah.
a new process, so they need to understand first that
no, they do.
it's not built to handle it.
No, they do
and
understand.
that's fine. I'm just stating what I understand
Mhm.
is that these things are not matching at all. So we tried to do this, but then we run into the problem where it releases. So it really sounds like what they need is they need to be able to have a way to release and release all at once, and don't do the tiered releasing, so that
Bulk
they can
orders.
make a conscious decision. Say, well, it's not a bulk order. These are not bulk orders. Bulk orders are when
Right,
we
right,
have
right,
back orders of more than 25
Yeah, yeah.
count. So these are orders that need to all, for whatever different reason, they need to release them all and batch them all
Mhm.
and have them all be contained.
Mhm.
So what they
Exactly.
need to do is we need to be able to release that and then batch those and then fire off a batcher for all of those immediately. And that is really weird. That is not something that we've done.
Yeah.
Because right now the problem is that if you release them, we don't know when that's going to finish. And so that's what Chuck was talking to me about yesterday, and so we found that this is actually a problem in the way that our batching does, because batching will always go based on order input, not on due date or batch date or
Mhm.
anything else. It's just when the order came in, that's the order that will be added to the batch first. So that will lead to mixed batches if they release 2 sets at the same time.
Yeah.
Even if they don't release 2 sets. So let's say they release 1 set, they wait for that to go through, and then they release the second set. The first part of that second set is still going to bump up against the end of the first set. Because whatever was in the last batch, all it does is it looks to see if we have a batch that's available. It doesn't
Mhm.
actually batch everything that's ready to batch. And so there may be a handful of items that are waiting for a complete batch, so then when you release number 2, now you've got some mixed batches.
Mhm. That makes sense.
Yes, I wasn't even thinking about these not being because of the process, my mind was automatically thinking about the, what do you call them, single item batches, the high quantity,
The
Yeah,
wholesale or whatever.
wholesale,
yeah,
the
yeah,
bulk
High
batches.
volume?
High
the bulk
volume,
batches.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's not what these were, so that means they would have been released, and then whenever the batcher ran, probably, unless there was enough for a batch, but like this,
Right. Which,
Yeah.
when you do 1,000, you're gonna end up with a bunch of batches that did have enough.
Mhm.
Or whatever they're gonna have a bunch of, but then they're gonna have a bunch that are not. And depending on where those order IDs are in the grand scheme of things, when you release the second batch, you may create 3 or 4 batches with mixed, because when we go to batch them, we batch them in the order that the order ID is.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, at the end of the
So-
day, I mean, I think
our system
what
just
you
isn't designed.
did, like,
Yeah.
worked 95%
Sure.
of the time,
Yeah.
but it was just
Yeah,
like,
but our system
yeah,
just
a
isn't
little
designed.
bit hateful.
Yeah, it just isn't designed. What we have isn't designed for what they wanted us to do.
Right.
Yeah.
So what they want now is they want the ability to be able to release a set and batch everything in that set.
before
release
it
that
mixes
batch.
anything else in.
Don't mix anything else in, just batch those items, and that's a new story that we need to build.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of wrote something to that effect, but it needs to be its own, and it. needs
Yeah,
to
and I
be-
didn't understand some of that other
Yeah.
stuff, so that's helpful to get
Well,
the information.
And I don't
It's
think any
more-
of us really understood. I mean, it was so like, okay, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. I want this, and I want it right now. And drop what you're doing and do this. And so we're just kind of scrambling, and it just, it kind of, and yeah, I mean, got 90% there. It's just that last little 10% is like now causing some problems. So now the question, what you brought up, Ryan, is exactly right. We don't really have a tool for what they asked for. We hacked something together. But if this is going to be an ongoing thing, then we need a specific tool probably for this.
I think we need to tweak batch items to where we should also pick whole for production items, because it's always a pain to try to batch something that doesn't show up in batch item tool, and then we need to, at least in depth, we need to go release, go back to batch item,
Oh, I see.
right?
Oh, so
that
that's
tool-
an interesting idea. You could do batch item that just is smarter, and if it's in whole for production, it releases it from whole for
yeah,
production.
exactly.
That's a good idea. too.
Exactly, because that's an action that it's in purpose, batching a specific batch, so item. So at that point, I don't think nobody cares
If it's
if
in whole
that's
for production, that
in
should
whole for
be
production, right?
Okay, so Chuck, it sounds like you have some
We-
code you'd
Well,
written.
before we move on from that, the thing to consider about the whole for production is that when we do release from whole for production, we are doing the entire order. So if we're now allowing to specify items, we do have some other logic that we need to think through there.
Yeah.
It's not just that
Sure.
simple. But go ahead, Chad.
Oh, I was just gonna say, because we have a really short time today, we got 15 minutes today, because of our new product meeting. And so I was just thinking maybe, I don't know if Chuck, you wanted to start the story, and then Sebastian and Ryan, you guys could add your notes to it, and then we could discuss it in a little more detail after. I just don't want to lose your thoughts, but I just, we're running out of time today, that's all. So if you, Chuck, wanted to kind of put together what you did and maybe include your code in there so that we could look at it, and then Sebastian could add his notes and Ryan could add his, and then we can.
Yeah, and I haven't coded anything. I just created this story that
Okay,
I'm
great.
sharing right now. So
Yeah. So yeah, this second idea goes in opposite direction. It's just don't deal at all with the whole for production stuff, right? Because its intention is to go chunk by chunk, and right. So
yeah, maybe not even go to maybe not even worry about the release.
exactly, right. So
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll just add, so there's that story then. If you guys want to just add your notes to it sometime today, and then tomorrow we'll talk about it a little bit more and see if we can finalize a plan for it. Okay, let's go ahead and run through stand-up. And I'm just gonna say this, Rebecca, Troy did send something yesterday. I saw it for the new product meeting.
Do you think you could forward that to me? I'm sorry,
will,
I
yeah,
just don't see it anywhere.
Straight to you.
Oh, maybe he did. Okay, yeah, I will forward it over.
'Cause I didn't see
Thank
it.
you.
Anyways, let's go ahead and Mario, if you want to start us off, and everybody keep in mind we only have about 15 minutes today.
Okay. Well, I was working on the story for downsample over resolution PDF images. I am almost done. I just made a post to take care of some comments in pull request, and then I will continue with that. And I will create the pull request very soon. That's my status so far.
Okay, well, for me, I keep working with Pendant Press, phase 1. Keep iterating, new ideas, solutions. So even though that's in draft, while I self-review, I recognize that I need to, keep coding, and so there's a lot of iteration there. Ignore that pull request until it's done, and we'll continue working with that. And about the dates on that cloud printer ship and stage, maybe it's not worth releasing that at all. Whatever. So that's it for me.
Let's see. Okay, my notes are a little confused. Okay, or I'm confused in my notes. One of the things was that there's this partner duplicate issue that I had kind of looked a little bit into last week, and then it caused more issues. So I think I fixed it better. It was just a matter of the new sales guy, Troy, his employee record wasn't in dev. When I ended up adding it, somehow ended up a different ID, even though I had anyway, long story. But anyways, so I got rid of duplicate partners that were caused and everything, and hopefully that works, but I haven't tested it. Maybe we just wait till the next partner request and see what happens. Anyway,
Did you reset the
index
auto increment indexes?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did that. For some reason, the one time it didn't work and it went 2 ahead, but I left it, and so it's still. I think, however it copies to dev, it's expecting the same employee ID for the sales guy, and so.
Yeah.
But that's fixed. I've got that fixed, and then the next, and it's the partner. The next partner will be the same ID, and the employee ID is the same for him on both. And I got rid of those. Which, whenever you get to get rid of a duplicate partner, there's like 3 foreign key, like internal notes and a couple others. So it's a little bit painful, but hopefully that's over until we get another sales guy. But anyway, and then Printify. Then I've started on that. I do have one question, or one thing. I guess I need suggestions. So because they need their us to store their shipment ID and their label ID. So we could just add that to the shipments table, or we could create I don't know if we would want to have a new table for it, just to not have it in there, or in the shipments table we could have like more generic field, kind of like integration key, or we just do shipment ID and label ID, and then if later on if something we could always change it to be something more generic. I don't know, but
You do like partner shipping ID.
yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, partner shipment ID and partner label ID. So
Partner label ID. Yeah, because then we use it for those 2 things.
for other, So, and if we were really worried about it, I could combine them in one field, but it seems wrong and messier if I had them separated by a dash. But so I think I'll just make the
No,
two
I do
fields.
too.
Okay. Yeah. And then also, one of the other things is they need it seemed like we might have to store the ship date, which I think was beneficial anyway. The date of actual leaving the facility. I had a story to actually do that anyway somewhere. So may have to add that also, but I can't remember. Anyway, that's it for me.
Yesterday I was doing a lot of cleanup from the week before for the IP address switch. I think we got everybody taken care of now. Should be on the same page. And then I was doing different various bugs and stuff. Today I'm hopefully gonna get back to cutting planning and knock that out. So that is the goal for today. And that's all for me.
Okay, yesterday was getting caught up and then working on some die adjustments, but because of that I didn't get into pull request reviews until really late, so I don't have very much. I need to get some more of that done so we can get out a meaningful release today. So working on that.
Okay, sounds good. We just have about 5 minutes or so. Does anybody have anything else for the team today? All right, well, I'm going to end it then. I got a couple of things I need to take care of before we go to our next meeting, and then tomorrow we will get back to our list and do some more planning, and maybe we can discuss this other project as well. Okay, thanks everybody.
That's good. See ya.
Okay.
Bye.
See you guys.
That's it.
Bye bye.